Relationship between the U.S. and Canada has been a little tense following recent trade disputes. In Seattle, business owners say they are now seeing fewer visitors from Canada. This weekend, dozens of shops and restaurants will be accepting Canadian dollars. That's about a 30% discount on whatever they buy. Organizers say it is part of their Open Arms for Canada campaign.
Canadian visitors are our single biggest source of international travelers to Seattle. They take over the waterfront and all of downtown with their Blue Jay caps and their Blue Jay gear, and we're not seeing them this year.
Canadian tourists will only need to show a valid ID like a Canadian driver's license or Canadian passport to receive the discount.
Tonight, politics are at play during the Seattle Mariners game. This is a live look tonight at T-Mobile Park, where the team is taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. It's likely there will be fewer Toronto fans in the crowd than usual due to the tensions over tariffs and President Trump's talk about Canada becoming a 51st state. As Fox 13's Shiro Matsuzawa reports tonight, some local business owners are worried this animosity will hurt their bottom line.
We did spot some Blue Jay fans out here, but not as many as you would expect based on past years. And one couple tells me they planned this trip a year ago. If that weren't the case, they may not be here.
We came down to see the Toronto Blue Jays.
Canadians Rhonda and Jason Philippoff arrived in Seattle on Thursday night. But like so many other Blue Jays fans who won't be flocking to the Emerald City this weekend, they too considered not making their annual trip down for the game.
I'm not going to lie, it did cross our minds to possibly cancel it.
The decision comes as there are talks about Canada becoming the 51st state and tariffs. On Facebook, the Blue Jays Nation asked how many fans in Western Canada plan to attend this weekend's games. You can see there are hundreds of comments, most of them opposed to visiting the United States.
It's everyone's personal choice, so we respect our friends. We do have friends that have canceled everything and are choosing to go overseas to Europe and kind of see other parts of the world.
The Whatcom Council of Governments found the number of cars with British Columbia license plates driving into Washington state dropped from more than 200,000 in April of last year to more than 98,000 in April of this year.
Canadian visitors are our single biggest source of international travelers to Seattle. They take over the waterfront and all of downtown with their Blue Jay caps and their Blue Jay gear, and we're not seeing them this year.
At Sean O'Donnell's in Pioneer Square, this is often a big weekend for business.
I'm optimistic. They love their Jays, so I'm hoping that'll take precedent and that they'll come down and still make a weekend out of it.
General Manager Robbie Williamson says this weekend will be the big tell.
Looking forward to having the Blue Jays in town. It's fun to represent Seattle well, represent our business, and just show the Canadians a good time and some hospitality while they're making the trip down to support the Jays.
We still love coming here, and I'm curious to see how many people are actually here.
And we checked around, and some hotels tell us that they did see less reservations this year compared to last year. One hotel even told us that their pre-bookings were down 30%. In downtown Seattle, Shiro Matsuzawa, Fox 13 News.